Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the match preview for Chelsea against Everton on Monday evening at 6 p.m. at Stamford Bridge, of course. We've just come on the back of a win of sorts because we were in the best form, but hopefully we'll be able to take that win and run with the kind of thing in terms of getting some actual form going and getting some fluidity going. But it seems this may not be the match to do it in terms of attack and play against the Chelsea side, who seem to play very high up the pitch. And I do think Ancelotti selects his team based on the opponent quite a lot, which works, to be fair. But I do think that's what he does, and I think that's what he'll do for the Chelsea game. And of course, last time we played Chelsea, when we beat them at home, it was the first time he actually played the four centre-backs at the back: Holgate, Keane, Mina and Godfrey. Mina's obviously not going to be back for this one, so it will likely be the same back four that started against West Brom. So that's all right, because the defence played well the other day. Pickford's in good form. But in terms of the midfield were quite weak against West Brom, I thought. But I do think it'll be switched up. I don't think Bernard and Iwobi will play. I think Alan and possibly Sigurdsson as well will come back in. Whether Gomez starts, I'm not sure. He wasn't the best at times against West Brom, but be an interesting one in terms of team selection. In terms of injuries, though, we don't really know. Carlo gave his press conference for this game immediately after the West Brom game, so we don't know in terms of the fitness of Tom Davies, Seamus Coleman, Robin Olsen, players like that. We're still waiting on updates on the fitness of, but we're not sure whether any of those will play anyway, to be honest with you. I don't think it'd be much difference. I think Seamus would be on the bench, Olsen would be on the bench. To be honest, we'd probably play Tom Davies because we might need him. Given how the midfield played the other night, we probably need him. But Alan and Sigurdsson were both strong off the bench, so I can see them starting this game. And it could be probably one up front rather than the two up front we saw against West Brom. Be a difficult game, of course. Chelsea are in good form. They've not lost under Thomas Tuchel. They've been really solid. Just come on the back of a 1-0 win at Anfield, but as we know, anyone can win at Anfield these days. But no, they drew 0-0 with Man United before that, and they've conceded very few goals with him as the manager. And considering they played such a high line, they haven't really been caught out yet, which is, they've dominated possession in pretty much every game they've played, and it will likely be the case in this game as well. But Ancelotti's kind of taught his team to be comfortable out of possession, and that's what Everton are learning at the moment, and I think that's going to be very much the case. We're going to have to show the quality in the few moments we get on the ball. I know Dominic Calvert-Lewin missed a few chances. I think he had 2 chances in all, 2 proper chances against West Brom, and he fluffed them both, really. But hopefully he'll be back with his shooting boots back on. And Richarlison's in good form as well. So if it is going to be a counter-attacking performance, players like Richarlison are going to be important to that. So hopefully he keeps up his good form as well. And set pieces, obviously, as well. That's what was said in terms of the game plan against West Brom. Set pieces were going to be the moments we're going to hurt teams, and we've scored one of the most I think we've scored the most headers in the league this season, one ahead of West Ham, and it's only West Ham who scored more corners, scored more goals from corners than us this season. So I think that'll be important as well, of course, without Yeremina, but Michael Keane has showed his dominance in the air recently anyway. So obviously going to be a difficult game against Chelsea, but it's these types of games, if we're going to fight for the Champions League, which a lot of people have been saying, I'm not too sure. I think we'll be fighting for the Europa League places, but we did get ourselves up to 4th the other night. Chelsea overtook us with the win at Liverpool, so we're in 5th now. But if we want to be fighting for these places, these are the games we've got to show up in, and these are the games we've got to prove ourselves, really, if we're going to be in or around these places. This is the time to do it. And obviously we've already beat Chelsea this season, so it was on the Lampard, but it's the same group of players, and to be honest, I think if we played the same style of football, we could well go and do it again. I think it was a Sigurdsson penalty we beat them from last time, but I do think we've got an alright chance, and as I say, these are the games we've got to be winning if we're going to be competing at the end of the season for the Champions League or Europa League places. We do tend to show up against big teams. It seems to be the switching off against smaller teams that we've been doing recently, with no disrespect to those teams, of course, but hopefully we can repeat that, and we've been better away from home than we have been at home as well. So this is another away fixture, and I do think with a proper midfield out again, we can possibly do a job. So be an interesting one. This is me being optimistic again, and I'm probably going to get proved wrong, of course, but that's what I said against Liverpool, and watch what happens. So you got to say before every game now in terms of a match preview. But yeah, in terms of a score prediction, it would have to be a sneaky 1-0 again, I think. So that's my prediction. Always got to predict a win, because I do think they are quite blunt going forward. Chelsea, they haven't proved themselves in terms of goal scorers at the moment. They're shutting opponents out, and they're strong defensively, but they're not scoring that many goals. They've got an out of form Timo Werner, Olivier Giroud, who can be pretty average at times. They've got Tammy Abraham, who is also pretty average at times, and they're not the best up front. So they've obviously got loads of quality midfield. Mason Mount's on form at the moment, and loads of good creative midfielders like Ziyech and all the ones who aren't even getting in the team at the moment. But I do think they're not the best at the very top end of the pitch at the moment. And with our strong defence, it could be a very tense game. But we can shut them out. So I'm anticipating a cagey affair in terms of they're going to be on the ball a lot. We're going to be trying to shut them out as best we can. And it might be game of chess kind of thing. Ancelotti against Tuchel. But I'm intrigued. So hoping we do get that lucky goal. Even if it's not lucky, even if it's fully deserved, with our 28 possession that we had in the reverse fixture earlier in the season. But no, that's the kind of game I think it'll be. But yeah, let us know what you think as well, of course. And if you disagree with me, of course, let us know in the comments. So it's always interesting to get that discussion going in the comment section. And I hope you've enjoyed the video either way. And give it a like, give the channel a subscribe, and thanks again. And join us next time for the player ratings after we've beaten Chelsea.